I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, we was at Cassie's birthday.
Back Joe, Lauren, I cracked you up.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me, I want to get into real estate, I want you to teach me all your, like your business secrets, you know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
What if I told you one of hip-hop's most beloved legends may have walked straight into a trap and never even saw it coming? That's the shocking claim coming from comedian Katt Williams, who's now revealing never-before-heard details about the strange connection between Nipsey Hussle and Sean Diddy Combs. This isn't just another celebrity story, it's a puzzle with missing pieces, and Katt says it's time to put them together. According to Katt, Nipsey once came to him directly, asking to be mentored in business and real estate. They formed a close bond, with Katt offering advice whenever Nipsey needed it. But here's where things take a turn. Katt says that relationship changed after one specific moment, when Nipsey was introduced to Diddy by Lauren London. Now, that detail might seem harmless on the surface, but Katt isn't the only one pointing fingers. Others are saying Lauren knew Diddy's dark history and still brought Nip into the picture. And not long after, Nipsey's energy reportedly shifted. On top of that, Katt revealed he was quietly made an executive producer on Nipsey's Victory Lap album, suggesting he was closer to the situation than most fans ever realized. So, why does this matter now? Because new clues are hinting that Nipsey may have been pulled into something deeper, something he didn't fully understand. But that wasn't the whole story. The next detail puts Lauren and Diddy's connection under a much brighter spotlight. Here's where things get even messier. That link between Lauren London and Diddy, it wasn't just casual. Multiple sources now claim Lauren had a long-standing awareness of Diddy's troubling behavior, especially the way he treated Cassie behind the scenes. So, when fans learned she was the one who introduced Nipsey to him, eyebrows were raised for good reason.
Hook up with the biggest rapper at the time. Everything's great. By the way, isn't she? Lauren is the one that introduced Nip to Diddy. Diddy couldn't even get to Nip, even though he had ties in LA. It was Lauren that brought Nip.
Even Nipsey himself confirmed it. In an old Breakfast Club interview, he casually said, Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, we was at Cassie's birthday.
It seemed innocent at the time, but looking back, people are starting to wonder if this wasn't just a friendly intro, but the start of something much darker, especially since Diddy, despite all his connections in Los Angeles, couldn't get close to Nipsey on his own. It was Lauren who opened that door. Now, conspiracy theories are swirling. Some believe Lauren may have unknowingly, or maybe knowingly, been a handler, someone placed close to Nipsey to keep him in line or gain access to him. Could she have been Diddy's eyes and ears? That's what many online are starting to suspect. But it doesn't stop there. Once Diddy and Nipsey connected, the mentorship talk started. Diddy told people Nipsey came to him for guidance, for knowledge on how to build an empire. But knowing what's now coming out about Diddy's mentorship, that statement feels more like a warning. And what happened next would shock everyone, because this connection went far beyond business. At first, it looked like a normal industry connection, just a rising artist learning from a veteran. But according to Katt Williams, there was nothing normal about it. In fact, he says artists who get close to Diddy often pay a heavy price. And sadly, Nipsey may have been no different. Diddy once said in an interview that Nipsey wanted to learn his business secrets.
I'm saying like Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me, I want to get into real estate, I want you to teach me all your, like your business secrets, you know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
But Katt warns that what Diddy teaches behind closed doors has nothing to do with building wealth and everything to do with control. That's why Katt claims he had to turn down $50 million from Diddy, not once, but 4 separate times. Why? Because he didn't want to lose his soul or dignity. Now, take that warning and apply it to Nipsey. After connecting with Diddy, fans started to notice changes. Nipsey was still the same voice for the people, but something about his energy felt off. His time became split between making music and being at Diddy's Diddy's mansion. He was moving less like a free man and more like someone being watched. Even worse, rumors started to swirl that Diddy wasn't just interested in Nipsey's music. In one studio video, Diddy is seen zooming in on Nipsey, licking his lips like he was admiring him.
What y'all doing? Lauren! Cassandra! What are you doing? Want some blue dot?
And Nipsey, he looked completely unaware, just vibing with the beat, focused on his craft, not knowing who he was really dealing with. But that wasn't the end of it, because others in Hollywood had already seen this pattern, and they ran before it was too late. Katt Williams isn't the only one who raised red flags. Actor Terrence Howard also shared a chilling experience that mirrors what others have hinted at. He said Diddy first approached him under the guise of business, but things quickly shifted. According to Terrence, Diddy started making strange requests and wanted to hang out in ways that didn't feel professional. His assistant even warned him, "I think he's trying to get at you." That's when Terrence backed off completely, cutting all communication.
Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I'm playing the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at him, like waiting. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you notice to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach and you punch them in the mouth, threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man.
Now, that might sound dramatic, but it lines up with what other men in the industry have described. Terrence said real men don't accept certain behavior, and when someone tries to test their masculinity, they respond with strength. His story highlights a disturbing pattern. Diddy allegedly tests boundaries, and only those who stand their ground walk away untouched. So now imagine Nipsey, young, focused, spiritual, and not afraid to speak his mind. Some say he was the exact kind of man Diddy couldn't control, and when powerful people can't control someone, history shows they often try to remove them, adding more fuel to the fire. Old photos have surfaced showing Lauren and Diddy looking way too cozy, while Nipsey stands in the background like a third wheel in his own relationship. It didn't sit right with fans then, and it hits even harder now, but what Lauren said after Nipsey's death raised even more questions, and the truth may be hidden in plain sight. After Nipsey's tragic passing, Lauren London sat down for an emotional interview with Angie Martinez. At first, it sounded like a typical grieving moment, until she mentioned something that shocked a lot of people. Lauren said it was Diddy who helped her through the pain, but it wasn't just his support that raised eyebrows, it was how he comforted her. She revealed that Diddy called her Boo, a name Nipsey used to call her, and then he said something that didn't sit right with fans. According to Lauren, Diddy told her, "You've shown the world what it looks like to love a man, now show them what it looks like when it all crumbles. That's your responsibility." That line stopped people in their tracks. Why would Diddy speak to her like that? Why use Nipsey's nickname? And why frame her grief like a public performance? It felt more like manipulation than support. Some fans even said it sounded rehearsed, like Diddy was trying to script a legacy moment for himself, using Nipsey's death as a platform. And here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Lauren had the Hollywood ties, Diddy had the power, and once she brought Nipsey into that circle, things went downhill fast. He started looking different, tired, stressed, like something was weighing on him. Many believe Diddy had a plan, and Lauren, knowingly or not, played a role in helping him get close. But the signs were there. The industry had already seen what happens when Diddy's involved. And next, a former Bad Boy insider dropped a warning that made the whole situation feel even darker. Former Bad Boy insider Gene Deal came forward with a haunting story, one that put everything into a chilling new light. He revealed that Nipsey once told him he wanted his next album to have the same energy as Biggie's Life After Death.
Now, you taking a spiritual person who's asking for something. He said, I wanted that same feel as Life After Death. That same feel was that Biggie got married, and he went on to sell about 10 million albums or 10 million copies. I was saying, you gotta watch what you say to demons, because it just might come true.
At first, it sounded like an artistic goal, but Gene warned him to be careful with his words. Why? Because Life After Death dropped right after Biggie was taken out, and according to Gene, speaking those kinds of things around powerful industry figures, especially those with dark influence, can have serious consequences. He said, "You gotta watch what you say to demons, because it just might come true." That moment stuck with Gene. He believed Nipsey's request wasn't just misunderstood, it might have sealed his fate. And once Diddy got involved, Gene says, everything changed. Nipsey started showing up at Diddy's mansion more than his own studio, and that shift, it had fans seriously concerned, because the man who once moved so freely now looked like he was being pulled into something he couldn't escape. People close to the situation say it was like a switch flipped. Once Diddy had access to Nipsey, the energy around him started to shift. He didn't look as free-spirited or grounded as before. Fans noticed Nipsey seemed distracted, maybe even weighed down. Some say he looked tired, like someone carrying a secret. Katt Williams believes that's no coincidence. He says Diddy has a way of getting close, then slowly tightening his grip. And when someone like Nipsey, independent, outspoken, and deeply rooted in community, starts resisting, that's when the real danger begins. Rumors even began swirling that Diddy had eyes on Lauren, not just professionally, but personally. Some insiders believe he thought that once Nipsey was gone, Lauren would be his next target. But given Diddy's history with women like Cassie and Kim Porter, people weren't buying the idea that his intentions were pure. The pattern was becoming clearer. But what Diddy allegedly did after Nipsey's passing revealed a whole new level of control. After Nipsey's passing, Diddy wasted no time stepping into the spotlight. He posted tributes to Lauren, praised her strength, and spoke about healing and legacy. But for many watching, it felt off, almost like he was using Nipsey's death to center himself in the story. This wasn't new behavior. When Biggie died, Diddy released a Grammy-winning tribute and launched his solo career. When Kim Porter passed, he reshaped his image as a grieving single father. And now, with Nipsey gone, it looked like he was doing it again, sliding into the moment, crafting another legacy role for himself. What upset fans most was the timing. While the world was mourning Nipsey, Diddy's posts seemed more focused on branding than healing. His words about Lauren felt rehearsed. His actions felt calculated. People started to wonder, was this really grief, or was it another move in Diddy's long game? And as the puzzle pieces continued falling into place, the spotlight shifted back to one key figure, Lauren London. As the whispers grew louder, fans began connecting the dots, and many of those dots pointed straight to Lauren. Some started questioning her true role in Nipsey's life. Was she simply a loving partner, or was she placed close to him by someone with more power? One moment that stuck with people was her public thank you to Diddy during Nipsey's funeral. At the time, it seemed harmless, but looking back, many felt it was strange. Why thank Diddy so openly, especially with all the rumors surrounding him? Online users didn't hold back. Some suggested that Lauren might have been a pawn used to pull Nipsey into Diddy's world. Others believed she was just another victim, caught in something much bigger than she realized. Either way, the mystery deepened, and while the internet kept digging, one question stayed in the air. Was Lauren just mourning her partner, or was she part of a carefully crafted plan? But the most unsettling question of all, could Diddy have been behind what really happened to Nipsey? Now, the spotlight is hotter than ever. With Katt Williams sounding the alarm and former insiders speaking out, it feels like the truth is clawing its way to the surface. Katt warned us years ago. This wasn't just about wild parties or shady contracts. It was about blackmail, setups, and a system built on silence. In 2024, that silence is cracking. Powerful names are being dragged into court, victims are stepping forward, and all those quiet whispers about what really goes on behind closed doors, they're turning into loud demands for answers. So where does that leave Lauren? Was she misled, manipulated, or something more? And could Diddy really have played a deeper role in what happened to Nipsey? One thing's for sure, this story isn't over. It's just getting started. If you're here for raw truth, real talk, and fearless reporting, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss a drop.